Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator for technology startups in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we've been doing these free mentoring roundtables for years. We started back in 2008, and that was an experiment. Experiment was successful. This is the 630th free roundtable. And we launched the full-fledged 1 million by 1 million program in 2010. So that also has now been going on for a very long time. This event is being recorded. You don't need to take notes. You can focus on the conversation. Conversations tend to be very rich and complex. So taking notes is not necessary. You will get the recording to refer back to. Focus and all your attention on the roundtable. Recordings of every roundtable are available on our YouTube channel. On Twitter, we're at 1Mby1M and at Romana. We publish a lot. Not clear how Twitter is going to pan out at this point with all the drama and circus going on there. These are the call-in instructions. We have actually a chock-full session today. We have a lot of pitches, so we'll see how much time we have at the end, and if we do, we will do Q&A. We are going to start today's session with Darshan Khaniya. Darshan, please unmute your line.
Yes.
Get started.
Hello, Ramana. Thank you for the opportunity to pitch. I am Darshan, founder of Khaniya Mobility Private Limited from Mumbai, India. We manufacture connected electric three-wheelers for last mile delivery businesses. So to get you in detail, please next slide. Yes. So I'll get you through the problem that currently electric vehicles, specifically in the three-wheeler business in India, are facing. So, since maximum of three-wheelers in India are either just a retrofitted three-wheeler or they are just using the same old design. So there are multiple issues with this generational design. First, very much issue is coming with the driver efficiency because the riding dynamics and the riding position of the driver is very unergonomic, which leads to multiple strain points and pain points for the driver. Now, taking on to the old same design, which leads to high weight, there has been issue with the payload capacity and the charging time along with the range, which is very less. And the major issue comes with the fleet owner parts, where the fleet owner want to buy the three-wheeler electric because they want to reduce their carbon footprint. But since they are not able to carry more weight and the drivers are leaving frequently due to unergonomic designs and riding behaviors, it is costing them a huge money. So next slide, please. So this is the solution that we are bringing in. In three-wheeler, it's being a very cost-sensitive market. People will prefer three-wheeler even though it has multiple issues compared to the four-wheeler because four-wheeler is almost double the cost of three-wheeler. That's where we come in. We are bridging in the gap, building a three-wheeler because it has less government interference and less government certifications. So we'll build a three-wheeler with the driving dynamics and driving comfort of a four-wheeler at a cost of three-wheeler. So the business fleet owners who buy these three-wheelers, they don't have to put in a lot of money, and it would be easier for them to hire drivers for these three-wheelers because it would be comfortable and ergonomic for them to drive throughout the day for more than 100 kilometers. So this is the solution that we are pitching in. Next slide, please. So this is the product detail this is the product detail. So what we are offering is extra payload of 600 kilos that nobody in the three-wheeler market has been offering. We offer a better range of more than 100 plus kilometer, and we have a fast charging option. We also have a better driving efficiency with the help of steering wheel compared to a steering handle in three-wheeler. So this is what a whole package we are providing in the three-wheeler market, which nobody else is doing in the market. We are the first one bridging in the gap between a three-wheeler and a four-wheeler at a very cost-sensitive price. Next slide, please. So next question was, is the market big enough for us to enter? And the answer is yes. We are saying that the three-wheeler market in India is booming and it's supposed to be $2 billion by the end of FY28. And government is even pushing electric vehicles too hard. So we believe that there would be about 50 to 60% electric penetration by 2028 in just the three-wheeler cargo segment, and the market would be $1 billion. So we would easily be having a huge market, and the target customer over here are the companies that provide e-mobility transport solutions to the different companies. Maybe it could be in e-commerce or the last mile deliveries, etc., etc.
What is the price of your product?
The price of our product would be 4 lakh INR.
And what is the
Which is,
cost of manufacturing it?
the cost of manufacturing our product is 3 lakh 20,000 rupees. So actually, 4 lakh rupees is the price to the end customer. We get a lakh rupees subsidy from the government, which is the FAME subsidy. So the total selling price from our side would be 5 lakh rupees, but the effective price to the customer would be 4 lakh rupees because of the subsidy.
Who's
So we would
getting
have
the
a
subsidy?
margin.
The customer is getting the subsidy?
The customer, so we will get the subsidy, but customer will get the subsidized price.
So part of the problem with what you are proposing is it's a low margin business.
Not exactly. So we will have a margin of about 1,80,000
But you're
on
saying you're
this
passing
vehicle.
the subsidy to the customer, so how are you getting the 1,80,000? You're getting the 80,000, not the 1,80,000, right?
No, no, I'll explain. So how it happens. So let's say we are manufacturing the vehicle in 3,20,000. We will keep the selling price at 5 lakh rupees, but the government will give us a subsidy of 1 lakh, right? If making the vehicle, we can sell the vehicle at 4 lakh to the customer. So we'll earn 80,000 from the customer and 1 lakh from the government.
And this is your gross margin. On top of that, you're going to have to
Yes.
operate the company.
Yes, this would be our gross margin, and uh, I have a slide at the end. I'll get through that. The complete financials which we have done.
So
So talking about
what is the final margin? What is the net margin after operations?
right now, the net margin is approximately in the range of 8 to 9% at the initial stage, because since we would be having a low volume production at the first, the gross margin would be less because the material cost is very high compared to what we'll buy in the bulk in the future.
Okay. So your go-to-market strategy is B2B.
Yes, B2B.
How does this market work currently? Like these companies that you're talking about that have validated your idea, are they providing the vehicles and the drivers work for them directly, or is it like the Swiggy model where the vehicle and the driver are all contract, like Uber
So
and so on?
okay, so these all companies act as a delivery service partner to multiple companies. Let's say Amazon, Flipkart, Bitbasket. So let's say this company like Moving or Magenta, they buy the vehicle from OEM like us. They have their own drivers and they will do the deliveries for this company and take a margin out of
I
that.
see. So you're going after the delivery services companies.
Yes, yes. So currently the situation in India is, let's say this company which we are calling Moving has to buy electric vehicles because Flipkart or the Amazon like businesses are telling them to make use of electric vehicles because they want to have that what we say carbon negative footprint. So there are multiple businesses, or we can even say multiple startups growing in India who are doing this kind of TSP services. So the market size is very huge since e-commerce is booming in India.
So if it's a B2B business, you need to calculate your TAM on a B2B basis, like how many companies are there, what are their fleet sizes, what would be an average deal size, because the go-to-market strategy then is a B2B go-to-market strategy. And you're going to
Right.
need salespeople and account managers. It's not, it's not a marketplace kind of thing where basically it's actually good news that it's a B2B business. How many of these companies are there that's in your target audience?
So right now, if I say we are in contact with 10 to 15 different companies, and average fleet size of let's say Magenta has a fleet size of 1,500 vehicles. Moving has a fleet size of about 600 vehicles. And if we move forward, every single company has a potential of placing an order of 15 to 20 vehicles upfront. We also are in contact with a company based out of UK and working in Bangalore. They have a fleet size of about 200 vehicles right now. So they are even interested to see the vehicle. If performing better in Bangalore, they would be interested to get to Europe too.
And what is your plan for manufacturing? Where is it going to be manufactured? What expertise do you have vis-a-vis manufacturing?
Yes, that's it. So we right now don't have the complete expertise of setting up the plant. So we have multiple contacts who will who will do the manufacturing on contract for us. So our function would just to be having quality checks and selling to the customers and doing the after sales service at the initial stage. So we have identified multiple contract manufacturers in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and even in Pune. So our main task would be just to have quality controls and quality checks on the product that we have designed and they will manufacture.
And what is how are you going to get this off the ground?
Yes, so right now I have invested about 36 lakh rupees into the business. We are almost to the engineering phase, and we believe that by March 2024, April 2024, we will have the product in hand to test. Then it will get into the government certification, which takes about 2 to 3 months. So we believe by August or September, we will have the product ready to launch and sell in the market. For that, we are looking to raise about 2 CR of fund, which is approximately 250,000 USD, majority of which will go into prototype manufacturing, testing, validation. About as we can see, 16% would go into certification cost because
Has
government takes
any
some cost to certify the
has
vehicle.
any company like this been funded in the Indian market?
Yes, there have been two startups, Altigreen and Euler, who have been funded, but they started back in 2018, so they had the first mover advantage. But the major issue, as I said, with this company is again with the handlebar thing and less efficiency. So when you see, let's say, when I talk, like I'll explain how the electric three-wheeler works. So there is handlebar and there's a brake pedal in the to the leg. So when you see the driver behavior, their leg is always on the brake pedal, causing efficiency issues while driving the vehicle. So that is where these vehicles are not getting the actual range what they are claiming. They're not getting the actual payload that they are getting, and due to the handlebar thing, the riding ergonomics is very bad. So when you talk to the driver, they would say they are getting a lot of back pain and back issues, and they are having body pain and everything. That is because of the driving dynamics. That's what we focus. A vehicle that is comfortable and ergonomic enough, but also cost effective for the business owner to buy.
So there are problems with financing projects like this in India, right? This is not the sweet spot of what gets funded in India. This is not
Yes,
the low capital investment, uh, IT business, IT enabled
yes,
services business. This is so you need to study how and where Altigreen has raised money, who has funded Altigreen. If yeah, I don't know who has funded Altigreen. I haven't studied the Altigreen financing structure.
right, right. So, as far as I know, so we have also talked to a lot of VCs and angel investors. The only answer we have got from them is once you have the product ready to sell, we would be interested because we are at the stage for them to be very early. So let's say companies like Altigreen or Euler, they had the fund to kickstart the product or at least get the product out in the market. And after that, they have got a pretty good amount of capital from multiple VCs and investors. So if I'm not wrong, Altigreen has got some funding from Reliance also,
That's
and
my
from
point. I don't think the VCs are going to fund this. I think it's first and foremost the venture capital market, as you may know, is very depressed right now.
right,
And when the market is high, people take a lot of chances. As it is, they don't take chances. See, the history of Altigreen is not that seed investors were funding this company. It's Reliance that funded the company. So then comes the question, who in the ecosystem is interested in something like this? So of these companies that you showed on the screen here, Magenta and so forth, these services companies, are any of them from a major house like a Reliance?
I think Magenta has got pretty good funding from some major VCs, but again, those are the VCs who are focusing
So these
on like
are
this is.
VC-funded services companies?
Sorry, I did not get the question.
The companies that you are trying to sell to, these are VC-funded services companies?
Yes, Magenta is and moving is.
So are any of them funded by like a Bajaj, for instance, or somebody who's in the automotive business and is funding a fleet like this?
No, not as far as I know.
So where I'm going with this is go look at the companies in the automotive business, and that may be a better path of getting funding for you. It could also be from the manufacturing sector, these contract manufacturers that you're going to be working with and asking them to develop your product, build your product, manufacture your product. If they are large houses, they could also be potential investors in your company. I don't think this investment is going to come from the VCs. And even your growth investment, I don't think is going to come from the VCs. Part of the reason why not is that the margin is very low. The operating margin of 8 to 9% is a very low margin business, and that's not the kind of things VCs like to invest in.
No, net margin is 8 to 9%.
I said that net margin is, did I say gross? I'm sorry. Net margin 8 to 9% is not an attractive net margin. Right. They are investing in more the high tech sector, right? The IT sector. IT tends to be a higher margin business, and clearly valuations derived from high margin businesses are higher and so forth. So this is not in their sweet spot, but I think you see that a little bit here in the Altigreen story is Reliance participated. So I think you may want to talk to Reliance as well, but talk to other players, competitors of Reliance, and I think people who are in automotive, Bajaj, for instance, may be a potential company to talk to. Tata may be a potential company to talk to. So anything that is, see, the thing about the way the venture capital industry works, for the most part, is you validate something for very little money in a bootstrapped mode, and then people fund your validated business where you have an MVP already in the market, you have some customers, etc., etc. You can't do that with capital intensive businesses, and your business is a capital intensive business. And so, yeah, okay, maybe you can get to the prototype on your own. It sounds like the prototype can be built on your own. If it's a 3 lakh, 4 lakh kind of investment, maybe you can put that investment in, get it going. Then the other option you could have is, if you can get the prototype going and show the prototype to these companies that you have on the screen right now, and if they're willing to give you orders and advance for the orders, that's another way you can get it validated and mitigate some of these issues of non-availability of pre-seed funding. So if you can finance the prototype building and then take that prototype and get advance on the orders from these kinds of companies, that would mitigate your chicken and egg problem.
Got it.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. We can talk more after I'm done with all the presentations. Aritra Ghosh, please unmute your line and let's hear what you are doing. Also electric.
Great. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm Srimana. Myself, Aritra Ghosh, founder of Vidyutva. So, as part of Vidyutva, we are not just a company. We are a mission to solve EV charging with innovative AI and IoT solution to make EV charging accessible and affordable for Indian citizens. Next slide, please. Yeah. So our value proposition lies in solving three critical challenges that today EV owners face. First is longer wait times in charging stations. For example, you are a EV owner and in the morning you see you don't have charge, you need a quick charge to go to office, and you are not able to find a charging station nearby. And after going through 2-3 hours, you found one charging station, and you quickly go there and you see that well, there are five cars lined up to charge. So you get frustrated, you search again, find another one, and you go there and see there are no queue. You're very happy. You plugged in the charging point and start, and then you see, oh well, it's not charging. It is out of order.
Sure.
So you get frustrated, right? So what we are offering you is with our AI algorithms, you will not be able to see a charging station which is not working. It will only suggest you a charging station according to your wait time you provided. If you provide 2 minutes, 5 minutes of wait time, it will, according to our algorithm, provide you that charging station only. Maybe it is 10, 15 minutes away from you, but it will
So,
provide you that one.
Aritra, this is not an AI problem. It is a problem of collecting the data. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even big data. It's how many charging stations are there? It's, it's not a big data problem. So you don't really need AI to solve this problem, but you need the data. So tell me
Yeah,
how are you going to.
exactly. Correct. So second is I think the range anxiety. So what we are proposing is we are proposing a solution where you can will provide you availability zones in regions where we will be teaming up with fleet manufacturers and also EV manufacturers to set up availability zones. So in that region you will never out of charge. So in a particular range you will always find Vidyutva stations. And third is the problem of growth. Currently, most of the companies providing the CPOs, charging point operators, break even of 3 to 5 years, where will be providing a 2 year break even point with our cost effective solutions, and also will be providing a predictive maintenance
You are providing an app for vehicle
charging
owners.
station as well.
You're providing charging station as well.
As well, yes, both.
Okay, what is the
So
cost
we'll
of
be
setting up a charging station?
so for AC 22 kilowatt that we'll providing, we'll be selling it for 60,000, which in current computer selling for 70 to 75,000.
And what is the cost of you'll be selling it at 60,000? What is the cost?
Yeah, our margin is net margin is 17%, 17.
70%.
17,
17%.
Yes,
Net
yes.
margin after operations.
Net margin. Yes.
And what is your manufacturing plan for what you need to bring to market?
Currently, we are basically assembled in India. We have assembly, so we are importing the parts and assembly in India and selling it as our
Importing the part from where?
China.
And do you have prototypes already?
We have, yes.
And is
We
it
have
already
the 22
functional
kilowatt.
somewhere?
It is, yes, in Odisha, Bhubaneswar.
In Bhubaneswar, you have one charging station functional?
Yes,
Okay.
already.
And that charging station is making money, right? So you have a business of somebody who has bought your charging station and is running a charging station.
No. We have funded that. It is, see, we have invested in that charging station. We have basically for branding purposes, we have given him, and so the people can start using it. So we have not sold that charging station yet. Yes.
So this is your charging station. Do you own that charging station?
Yes.
But you're
Correct. Yes.
running it. You're operating that charging station.
Yes, we are.
And what are the economics of that charging station? How much money are you making off that charging station?
So far, Bhubaneswar, we don't have that much CB, so we have made it mostly to gain customer and basically to see exactly what they are facing, how they are charging.
Bhubaneswar?
Yeah, am I audible?
Why did you put the charging station in?
Yeah, because we started our assembly center is in Beharampur, which is near to Bhubaneswar. So this is where we are working.
Yes, but to put a charging station, you need to put it where there are electric vehicles, a lot of electric vehicles looking for that facility. So putting it in a place where there are no electric vehicles is not helpful, right? That
Yeah,
is not a
that's
good
true.
validation strategy.
Yeah, that's true. But basically, we are still in prototyping stage. We have not completed the MVP. So that's why we put it up to basically so that we can have the problems we will be facing, we'll be fixing and complete the MVP by end of March.
Okay. So then
Yeah,
when
because
you
we are testing the predictive maintenance part as well, where we are basically detecting faults in the charging station and sending service person to basically go and fix those problems beforehand it is going out of order.
what
So
is the
those solutions
cost
also we
of
are testing.
running? What is going to be the cost after you put the 60,000 rupees unit? What is going to be the
Mhm.
cost of running a charging station?
The cost of running a charging station is the electricity cost you have to pay, and for that, according to that, actually the charging cost will be calculated dynamically. So
But there is
current electricity
you have to
cost.
put it somewhere, right? You have to lease some real estate from some place, or where are you going to put these charging stations?
Yeah, so our main target that we are starting up with real estate developers. So, for example, who owns shopping malls, owns who are building a
Real
corporate
estate
apartments and all.
complex. Yeah.
Exactly. So there, and we have some petrol pumps who are working with us on the biofuel industry. So we have another we are making biofuel as well. So for that, we have already partnered with some petrol pump. So we are discussing with to install our charging station there as well.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and
I understand what the
we are
business
talking
is.
to government as well. One of our co-founders, a trade commissioner of India external government. So we are talking to government to install charging stations as well. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So it sounds like your first business is you want to sell, you want to prototype this charging station, and then you want to go to sell to a whole bunch of people, including real estate developers, mall developers, petrol pumps, etc. So
yeah.
let's talk about that first. It's very similar to what I just advised Darshan and Rahul. Um, the ideal thing would be you build your prototype and then you go get advance orders from these people. So that is going to be one of the ways you can mitigate the financing issue.
Correct.
So I think
Also, another revenue we are targeting. So the Chinese manufacturer that we are basically importing the parts. So they also want to integrate our software whenever they sell to other countries as well. So we are integrating our software into them as well.
yeah,
So
but
from there also we'll get revenues on the our CSMS sales.
so how are you going to get the users to the app needs data. If you're operating only with your own charging stations, that's easier because you know exactly where all these stations are, and maybe you can build certain software functionality into your charging station that is going to update the app, right?
Yeah, and we are targeting the manufacturer. That's why charging station manufacturer OEMs with our software so that we can basically get our software into all the charging station that will be installed in India.
Okay.
So
So, all
that's why
right.
we are going into the starting point because software can be easily replaceable, but the data is the game after 5-7 years.
From what I can see, based on what you've described, you're going to have to get the charging station business going first.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to get basically advance orders from, sizable advanced orders from a bunch of people. And if you can set up the business in a way that, and the same thing, actually, Darshan, the same thing for you guys, set up the contracts in a way that you get an advance order on the order. So, and then you kind of figure out with your manufacturer, what is your manufacturing timeline, and then
Correct.
put a delivery date around that, and accordingly, so you get the advance order, you get the advance cash, you get the manufacturer to fulfill the order, and you then pay the manufacturer. So you have, kind of like a cash flow management strategy And that is going to be most likely your seed funding strategy. That's how you're
Yeah.
going to have to build the company. Your second question is, what effective customer engagement tactics would you suggest for a niche market like EV? So are you talking about customer engagement in the B2B customers, your real estate developers, and the
Also B2C as well. So we need our app downloads as well, right? So we are talking about both. So is it wanted to understand, is it specific building a community will be a better way to basically?
So what is the situation with the electric vehicle manufacturers? That's the strategic partnership where if you can have, I imagine electric vehicles have electronics in the cars today,
Yeah.
right? So they have the ability to update those electronics. They have the ability to put apps on those vehicles and so forth. So
No,
I
not that apps. We are talking about apps which our
listen, just a
some,
second, let me finish.
oh,
So
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
the electric vehicle company, like for example, I have a BMW. BMW has a screen, right? That screen is full of software. So very often, like BMW is asking me to pull out my phone and sync up. There's a Bluetooth connection. My music can play there, but etc. Right? Google can be operative there, etc. So if you have a relationship with the electric vehicle manufacturer, and if your software is part of the electric vehicle manufacturer's software that they're syncing up, you have to see how they have set it up. And if your software gets loaded to the phone of the electric vehicle owner, that is a distribution strategy that is going to work.
Correct. Yeah, very good point.
Electric
Actually,
vehicle
yeah,
market
yeah,
in India is still pretty small, right? It's not very well penetrated. So the electric vehicle penetration is still in front of us,
yeah,
right?
correct.
So if you can get to the point of sale of electric vehicles and the point where the electric vehicle manufacturer and the owner's phone communicate, and if you can get in the middle of that communication, that's where I think you will be able to get the software to get in, the app to get installed on the owner's phone, and then
Yeah,
yes.
like very good
I don't
insight
know.
actually.
Have you
Yeah,
done the TAM analysis? You're asking me if the TAM is large enough. Have you done the TAM analysis?
yeah, we did.
What is the TAM?
Currently in India, it is around, I think, 1 billion on
But what is
EV
the
market.
what
But
is the normal?
basically, Indian government is targeted to install 13,20,000 charging station by 2030. So
Okay.
according to that, we calculated the TAM will be around 11 billion by 2030 EV charging market. So
So
we are
your
planning
your
around 13,000.
calculation, hold on, your calculation model. I'm not going to get into the actual numbers, but I want to check whether your model is correct or not. You have to do a bottom-up calculation, right? So so however many charging stations there are going to be times 60,000 is your TAM on the charging station revenue point of view. And then what is the app a paid app or a free app?
App free app, yes.
App is
For
free.
EV owners free, yeah.
So the only revenue model you have is the charging station revenue.
No, B2B from the charging station operators revenue as well.
And what do they pay you? Why?
Yeah, they will pay you to maintain the charging stations, to basically use the CSMS, charging station management system, right?
So AMC,
So
annual maintenance
yeah,
contracts.
correct.
Okay.
So they will provide a subscription for that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there are enough charging stations that's going to come up in India, and there's going to be enough subscriptions for maintenance. That's probably fine, but I think again the VC market doesn't like a lot of hardware and mostly likes software businesses. So you're going to have the same kinds of issues to some extent. Your margin is a little bit better, But my recommendation to you would be to, again, look for some of these strategic money. So we discussed in Darshan and Rahul's case, we discussed the automotive manufacturers. In your case, probably the better strategic partners, strategic investors would be the gas station owners, because they are the most directly influenced by this. So what are the major gas station companies, petrol pump companies? What are the major petrol pump chains? And they could be good investors for you. Electric vehicle manufacturers could be good investors as well for you, because you are directly catering to the electric vehicle ecosystem. So, but I would recommend both of these companies, both of these electric vehicle companies, to look at strategic investors as opposed to pure VCs as your investors. And I think that would be a more synergistic and more productive way of fundraising. Okay?
Yeah, great.
Welcome. All right, Saurabh, you are up next.
Yeah, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hi. This is Saurabh, and I'm the founder of Enablerz. Uh, Enablerz is a corporate coaching marketplace, right? And so, so let's please go to the next slide. So we've talked about the problem. So what me and my partner has been into L&D, and into talent development space for corporates.
Mm-hmm.
And and my partner is actually a Marshall Goldsmith stakeholder, as well an ICF coach, and uh, we actually realized that it is very difficult to differentiate between two coaches who can
Yeah.
claim themselves as a coach.
Very
Uh,
crowded market,
right?
very fragmented, and very hard to differentiate.
So when we realized this, we started studying the global market, and we found that it is actually unregulated worldwide, and the same problem is there everywhere. And all the studies predicts that there are almost 50% people who are actually not trained or licensed to do coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that actually cause underpricing across, and that is also actually damaging the reputation in terms of satisfaction. Then in India, we realized, we spoke to people those who have been seeking coaches, and like if someone puts one request on Instagram, there would be around 40 people reaching out to the same person. But ultimately, the success ratio of discovery calls are not very great. So we thought of actually regulating this market. Not that we can verify or validate someone, because we are not an body as such to actually authorize someone to do that. So we actually thought of solving this problem by creating a marketplace where we are actually listing all these certified coaches of varied experience level and level of certifications. And also we realized that the demand for coaches is very specific in terms of coaches required for a very particular industry, like maybe a dermatologist or FMCG, or people are looking for a specific coaches from R&D or manufacturing and all, right? And the level of specification is up to that what level of coach they need, right? So it was a good opportunity for us to try this market. And we started working in January 23, and we developed an MVP uh, where we are actually listing all the coaches, or I would say all the coaches we know from the market and which we have got a good feedback, and obviously they are certified from the ICFs as well as Marshall Goldsmith category. So our platform has two phases. Please go next. So our platform has two phases. Uh, One is where we are listing coaches, and we have limited the listing to up to 50. After which we will start charging. As of now, we are not. It's just been 2 months that we have launched the product. And on the at the other
One
phase is
second, I
of
have a question.
corporates. Yeah,
Is this a two-sided marketplace of coaches and consumers of coaches, whether it's
corporates.
businesses or corporates who are looking for,
Yes.
that's what you're trying to build?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we have already built it. So corporates can actually register on our platform. They can search for a coach and they can book a discovery call right from there. And the feedback is it's taken by the backend itself. Okay. And then once the coach gets shortlisted, so we let corporates or individuals who could be a solo founder or an entrepreneur or SME, right? So once after the success of a discovery call, we let them choose at least two coaches or maybe two discovery call maximum for one requirement, because corporates may have many. So
And what's the business model?
so see, in coaching, what happens is the number of sessions are decided based on the pain areas, right? And the unit economics ranges from 5,000 rupees per session to up to 35,000. What we have witnessed right now in India, per session, depending on the experience of the coach and the expertise of the coach. So that's the whole range we have seen in the market right now.
But
It has went up to
what
2
is
lakhs
your
also.
business model? What is
Sorry?
your business model?
Per session. Per session.
You take a commission per session.
Per session, yeah, 30%. And uh, we are also offering personalized coaching solutions for corporates, for a particular group of team of for a particular function or whatever the challenges they face. Like normally, since I'm from L&D, we realize that every year there are learning interventions which gets decided. Okay. And corporates are actually follow it for the year. So what we are doing is we are offering uh, customized coaching interventions rather than training or consulting, right? For that particular functions. We are just testing out this, and it really worked out with a couple of client we met. We have not made any revenue as of such, but there are few meetings in progress up to few levels, which we are actually seeing that they have taken interest.
So, in most marketplaces, this problem happens, and in the kind of business that you are going into, it's going to happen in droves, is people will go off the platform and negotiate side deals.
Right, absolutely.
And it's going to be very difficult to prevent that from happening in this business in particular.
So my vision is, in our product roadmap, currently we are doing things happen manually because it's an MVP. We would have a recommendation engine based on assessment. That is what we have been trying to, strategize. Secondly, we would be using AI to strengthen the conversation that happens inside. How we will do that, we don't know yet, but this is what I want to do, because that's how we'll add value to the corporates.
The coaching sessions are not going to all happen on your platform. The coaching sessions are going to happen in person. The coaching sessions going to happen in corporate headquarters. You will not be able to do anything to those.
I know that.
So this
is
don't shoot bullets in directions that have no targets.
so as of now I'll tell you.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
Just because all of you, by the way, this is to those who have pitched today, those who are listening, don't just throw out the word AI just because it's sexy right now. AI is very sexy, but most of the people throwing out the word AI in business pitches are gratuitous, and they don't really do anything with AI. So don't just throw out AI. It actually reduces your credibility because you can't justify using AI.
right.
So stop using the word AI.
So
But
I will tell you what we have done is, we have built 3 level of feedback if session that happens to the platform itself when the coaching session happens. So, and that's how we are thinking of improvising using those data in future. That's what the intent is as of now. So that's why I used the word AI.
marketplace businesses tend to be about finding people. And then if there are specifics that you can provide, to manage in software, for example, let's say there's a bunch of marketplaces that have been successful marketplaces that are domain specific marketplaces. So let's say there's procurement of this for the steel industry. There's a lot of workflow that they have built into these marketplaces, which gives people reason to stay on the marketplace because they want to use that workflow. So you should investigate that. Is there in the coaching market, is there workflow, are there functionalities that you can capture and put in your marketplace so that people have reason to stay on the marketplace and keep everything on the marketplace, and then you have more of a captive user base. But if not, this has a huge danger of going off the marketplace. People will use you for lead generation. Once they get the lead, they'll do one session with you, and then they'll, let's say there are 10 sessions coming up or 50 sessions coming up, they will do a contract directly. The corporate will do a contract directly, and the coach is going to give them a discount for it, and so on. So this is going to be very difficult to keep on your platform.
You are right. You are right. Actually, see, we can foresee, these challenges coming up, and uh, we'll tweak the model in such a way that the whole thing sells like an LMS subscriptions to the corporates based on the assessment of each individuals within the company. That's all see in future happening. You're perfectly right. These things gonna happen. uh, we might limit the number of coaches also on our platform, so
No, I
we
feel
can see that.
get the corporates to stay on your platform and insist that all business happens on the platform, because there is, whether it's assessment and so on, whatever, pre-coaching assessment, post-coaching assessment, if you can build in software that the corporates want to use
Right,
on your
right.
platform, that is the way to keep them on the platform. And then the coaches will stay
True.
on the platform because the corporates will enforce that they have to stay on the platform.
So that's rightly you said. That's very much well there in our elements in terms of thinking that how we can get round the clock, round the year business from the corporates with every employee that we see. So that's how we've been thinking. So currently we are validating from the corporate side, trying to get traction from customers. We already have a traction from coaches, which should happen soon. We have been talking to a few corporates currently. Right?
All right. So I don't understand your question. How do you help startups in their vision? What is the question? I don't understand this question.
Yeah, so I found that so there's nothing specific in terms of industry and all, right? There are
No, it
multiple
is very
startups come.
absolutely very specific. We only do IT and IT-enabled services. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. I didn't know that. So I want to know that suppose I'm here, I'm letting you know what I'm doing right now and how I think in terms of taking my startup forward step by step. So how do you help? How we collaborate in
I
terms
will
of
spend some time
you helping?
on how to use 1 million by 1 million in the next segment. You
Yeah.
can listen
Okay.
to that and then you can ask questions. But the website is extremely comprehensive. If you spend time on the website, we explain everything in great detail.
Okay. Okay.
So this guy, Raju Kurup, has sent me probably 15 emails in the last 3 days, and he doesn't show up to do his presentation. This is amazing. And it tells me that he's not going to be a successful entrepreneur if he can't follow up and follow through on things that he's supposed to do. It's just mind-boggling to me how the rate at which he's sending emails almost every second. This is very annoying. All right, so as you can see, what we do here is strategy discussions, right? It's like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? What roadblocks are you facing? How are you going to circumvent those roadblocks and do things creatively so that you can move forward? In startups, moving forward with velocity is really, really important. So that's what we focus on here. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And if you like that approach, please tell your friends and colleagues and family members who are doing startups that they're very welcome here. So let me explain to you how to use 1M by 1M. This is a virtual accelerator. People can use it from anywhere. Anyone can use it as long as you're working in a IT and IT-enabled services field. We actually do not do stuff like electric vehicles. To the extent that your electric vehicle project is an IT-enabled service, we do that in the program. But if you're trying to build an electric vehicle and stuff, that's not really in our sweet spot. So to answer your question, Saurabh, this project is entirely IT and IT-enabled services focused. You happen to fall in that category because two-sided marketplaces is part of an IT-enabled service value proposition. So we do a lot of e-commerce, two-sided marketplace, e-commerce, all of that. In terms of resources, you will find a free blog that is very comprehensive and extensive, and you'll learn a lot by following that. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series is all case study based books. You can start your learning there. They're all available on Amazon as digital books anywhere. So that's an easy way to access all of them. Some of them are available as physical books as well. These roundtables happen every week. If you have pitched once, you cannot pitch again. You're going to need to join the premium program if you want to interact with me on a regular basis. But you can come and listen as much as you want. The full acceleration program from 1M is 1M Premium. And we give you extensive methodology guidance. There's a full curriculum. We help you with business development where we have contacts. And this kind of roundtables happen every week, and you can come and discuss with me every week. That's part of the premium program, included in the premium program. Regular mentoring is included in the premium program. And we work with a very large network of investors. So we make investor introductions. There are policies on investor introductions. You have to be ready to be introduced to investors, and we will help you get ready. That's part of the service. But it is, not all projects are investment ready or investment worthy. Some projects don't qualify for VC financing. Investors are trying to go, VCs are trying to go from 0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. So you need a very large market, you need a lot of velocity, you need high margins. All of these characteristics tend to be requirements for VCs. So therefore, you are not necessarily always ready to go to VCs. Some businesses don't really qualify for a venture capital financing model. Go to the 1M self-assessment. It's a free tool available on the website. These are the due diligence questions that VCs will ask you. You should try to answer these questions. And that's part of your VC pitch preparation exercise. We do a lot of bootstrapping. We recommend bootstrapping, and that's because the industry operates in a bootstrap first, raise money later mode. So go do this free bootstrapping course on our website, on the blog. You'll find it. It's less than 1 hour long. It's an excellent course. It was actually commissioned to me to develop by LinkedIn. It's been used by hundreds of thousands of people. You can also do a lot of your learning on Udemy. We have given them about 75 courses, something like that, and we're still giving them more courses. So that's another place where you can start your learning. Maureen, if you could cut and paste this link so that people can access the coupons. Every month we issue coupons, and Maureen will give you the link to pick up coupons from. You can also access the entire 1M curriculum, everything we have, through 1M Basic. That's another very convenient way to start learning. So whatever it is, if you're a first-time entrepreneur, you're going to have to learn. And that learning has to come on top of something, some platform. You can learn from our platform, you can learn from other platforms, but this is a requirement. The first-time entrepreneur's journey is very steep. You are going to have to learn and have to plug your knowledge gaps to get ahead. So go to the website, look at what to expect from premium, what to expect from basic. Video FAQs are available. You can look at the description of the curriculum, what we teach. Everything is case study based. We have worked with thousands of entrepreneurs. They come and share their stories, share their journeys, how they put one foot before the other, and that's how we capture their case studies, and the entire methodology is based on these case studies. As I said, Investor Introductions has a policy, so that policy is available on the website. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. Philosophy is bootstrap first, raise money later. Do not go to investors as beggars, go as kings. That is all. We have one more roundtable next week in January, and then there are 5 roundtables in February, because February this time is a leap year. February 29th is also a Thursday, so there's quite a few roundtables available, and you will have a chance to come talk to me. If you are looking for a slot, please go to the website, register under the free public roundtable page, and Maureen will schedule you and on whatever date you're looking for a slot. That's it. We can take more questions. Anyone interested, please feel free to ask. If you are not on the audio, you can let us know that you want to ask questions or talk, and Maureen can put you on the panel to talk. If you have questions about the program after spending some time on the website, if you still have questions, your contact is Irina Patterson. You're very welcome to talk to Irina about the program. She knows everything there is to know about the program and can shepherd you through your questions. All right. Santino Cuevas wants to talk. Maureen, could you put him on the panel? Is there anybody else who wants to ask questions? Your public chat, you can ask questions in the public chat. You can use your computer audio. You can dial in through the telephone line. All of those are okay. Maureen, can you make Santino Cuevas a panelist so that he can talk? I think he's trying to. Santino, you can now turn your audio on and talk. Anybody? What's happening with Santino? Well, Santino, we can see you. You can unmute your line. You need to unmute your line. Speak up, Santino. We can't hear you. You seem to be connected, but something is muted on your screen. Sound issue, yes? While Santino is figuring out his technicalities, is there anybody else who has questions? You're welcome to use the public chat also. And by the way, you can also introduce yourselves. If you're here and you haven't introduced yourself, we've heard from 3 entrepreneur groups that have introduced themselves. If you want to introduce yourselves, you can also use the public chat. Santino, the next roundtable is next Thursday, same time. So you can definitely sign up to pitch at the next roundtable. Perfect. All right, folks, I don't see any other hand up. So, folks, those of you who want to pitch next, the link to the schedule and the registration pages is on your public chat. If you just click on that, it will take you to the free public roundtable page. You'll see the schedule, you'll see the registration pages and everything. So feel free to register, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you for coming, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.